Hey guys, I am back with another Prove It basic strategy video for you today. Today we have a pair of 10s versus a dealer's 6. All right, now basic strategy, of course, tells us to stand on our pair of 10s or our 20, whereas a ploppy or someone who doesn't play by the book, maybe a non-card counter, they might try to split their 10s, and that is just incorrect. All right, in fact, this was brought to us by Vacate the 48, and so they said not only when we have a pair of 10s should we split them, but if we get an additional 10, we should keep splitting until we no longer have 10s. Now, most casinos will cap you at 4 spots there after split, and so that should be just 4 spots. So this is one that could be kind of interesting, as you know, you could potentially have 1, 2, 3, 4 spots out there, so it could be a decent chip change, right? Whether you lose those or gain 4 more chips, it could be interesting with that. Whereas, of course, this other one is just going to either win or lose with their 20. Probably more often than not, they're going to win, as 20, of course, is a very good starting hand. So, could be an interesting one. I'm going to get our cards shuffled up for us, and I'll be right back with you to try out a few hands, and I'll throw it into a hyperlapse so we don't waste your whole day, as we're going to play this out 100 times. All right, the cards are shuffled. Let's cut the deck here, cut somewhere, and then we're just going to cut off just a little bit, as we're going to try to play through most of this. We might even have to reshuffle if we don't get through all of it. But that said, let me throw those over here into our shoe, and then I did keep out the pair of 10s and a 6. And the way this should work is for, let's say this guy is the one that's going to stand. And don't think of these as $5 chips and $100 chips, but more just red and black. All right, so the red chip, they're going to stand on their single chip here with their pair of 10s versus dealer 6. Whereas the black chips are going to split. All right, so of course we need to start off with a whole card for the dealer every time. And I'm just going to be playing out these ones, and then we'll kind of compare that to what a 20 would have done against the dealer's cards. All right, so is the dealer, do they have more or less than 20 or equal to? That's going to determine if we win, lose, or push for the basic strategy. Whereas over here, of course, we have to take more cards. We don't know what those ones are going to be. All right, for example, I'm going to stand on 17 and 12 against the dealer 6. Perfect example here. I am going to be playing H17 rules, as that's probably a little bit more common for the games. I know that my table says to stand on all 17, so it's an S17 table. However, you guys are probably used to H17. So we're going to hit our soft 17. Right now it is a hard 17. So interesting here, because this guy pushed, but this one lost. And so overall, we lost chips for the ploppy. That's going to be on the bottom part of this. So that's going to count as a loss. Now, if I were to, again, put those back as 20 for the pair of 10s I stood on, for what basic strategy says, 20 of course beats 17, and so they would win a chip. And so that's going to be a win. So it could be, I think it's going to be a blowout, but of course this could be one where you stack up 3 or 4 chips and then you win. If a dealer busts or something, then I think it could, you get enough of those, it could really swing one way or the other. So this might be one where you need way more than 100 hands to figure out what it's going to do. We're just going to play 100. So let me do maybe 2 more with you before I throw it into a hyperlapse. So I'll reset this, stack that chip up, get another split one out here for us. We have a burn card, or a whole card, excuse me, for the dealer. They're going to stand on their 13. Oh, and there's a good example of splitting again. All right, now they're going to stand on 17 and going to split one more time. So perfect, nice. We're going to see what happens here. 18 and 14. Dealer has 16 and too many. So yes, they did win 1, 2, 3, 4, but just counts as a single win on the sheet. But of course, that's 4 chips. That's huge. Whereas this guy, for the original pair of 10s, of course, the dealer also busted there, so they're going to get their chip. And so it is also a win for them. So it could be a situation where there's way more wins up here, but they might have more chips when we're done. Kind of hard to tell. So, all right, let's do one more. before I throw it into a hyperlapse, and I'll do the other 100. Okay, stack those up, split them, whole card. Okay, gotta split that. We'll throw it over here. Split it again. Interesting. Okay. It's also causing the count to go way down, which could hurt your future hands, but I don't know. Interesting. All right, so now we cannot split again because that's 4. Most casinos will cap you at 4 hands. Okay, stand. And dealer has, 21. All right. So this guy lost because I was at 20. And then all of these ones lost. So just as quick as we gained 4 chips, we just lost 4 chips. So I'm glad you were able to see that before we threw it into the hyperlapse. In both cases, those were losses, but of course, hurt this guy way more. All right. So I'm going to pick these up, and then I'm going to switch my camera that can do hyperlapse better, and I'll be back with you once I'm done with these 100 hands, and we're going to see which pile has more chips at the end, basic strategy or our splitting 10s versus a dealer's 6. All right guys, I'm back. This was an interesting one. I had the results here. I actually didn't get to finish because I ran out of the red chips, okay? And so therefore, I started with 40, which is this amount. Hopefully that's all in frame here for you. I'll just kind of pull these over. Started with 40 and I ended up with 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60 extra. So kind of 150% more than what I started with. So kind of crazy there. So that was definitely the better play. I still have some black chips left. Remember, we're not thinking this as $5 and $100, just think of these as individual chips. For these ones, I did get another 35, it looks like, chips. So 60 extra you can kind of consider units, or 35 extra units. Both cases is positive EV for these 100 hands. Now again, this is one that you probably want to spend more than just 100 hands or whatever we did, 85 or something like that. Let's go over the results here on paper. What that looks like, both of them, the most of the categories as far as wins, losses, and pushes were the wins. All right, so we had 68 wins though for basic strategy, which is to stand. All right, so if you've ever heard never split your tens, that's why. Okay, that was almost all of our choices. In fact, our losses were actually pretty minimal until the end there. I think we piled on a few right at the very end. And then pushes, for a long time, the ploppy had more pushes. We would sometimes like split to 4, you know, 1, 2, 3, 4 tens that were out here, and maybe 2 of them would win and 2 would lose, or something along those lines. Maybe you would just have one of the tens win and one of the tens lose, and so you would kind of break even or push on the split tens. So, but eventually the dealer ended up drawing to 20 a few more times, and so this guy had some more pushes. That said, when the ploppy did win, they tended to win, I'd say, more than just those 2 chips. All right. Sometimes it was just the 2, but sometimes, you know, you split to 3 spots or 4 spots and you'd win all of those. That's a decent amount of chips that you're getting. However, they did experience a lot more losses, 38 compared to the 11. And so that's kind of why we want to stand on our 20s. Now, because this does have a lot of wins, there is a deviation. A pair of 10s split against a dealer 6 at a true count that is high enough, and that's because there are more 10s left in the shoe at a true count of plus 4 or higher. So what that means is there's about 4 more 10 valued cards per deck than there normally is, and so you're likely to get a few more of those 10s. Not only that, but the dealer's likely to draw, you know, 6 if they have a 6 to go 10-10 and hopefully bust their hand. So that's why there is a deviation, and so I'm guessing that's why they wanted this one to wanted me to play this one out. Now, if you guys have a hand that you want to see, please let me know that down below in the comments. In fact, I will probably do one. I just look at the comments for these videos. So if you have a hand that you want to see played out 100 times, hopefully we don't run out of chips. But I guess I could have done it with a different denomination, but that probably would have been a little confusing. Otherwise, this does take quite a bit of time. I think I've spent about 2 hours on this video, just doing it back and forth here, just a lot of splits and things. So if you wouldn't mind, please hit the thumbs up button for me. That really helps us out, and then I can hopefully do more of these videos for you guys in the future. Otherwise, until next time, guys, remember, this is A1 Blackjack.